Welcome back. You're watching One on One. We're talking with Dr. Mohammed Yunus, the founder of the Grameen Bank and effectively the father of microcredit finance. And I want to ask you about the challenges you faced once you got into microcredit finance and you were starting to get a new concept going. What was the biggest challenge you faced?
The biggest one was mindset. People completely refused to accept what I was saying. I was saying banking can be done without collateral. You don't need it. It's impossible. If you could do banking without collateral, it would have been done long back. It would be in USA or Europe done already. You don't have to discover it in Bangladesh. I said, just because they didn't do it, that doesn't mean that it cannot be done. We can do it ourselves. So this is totally impossible for people to understand. And then they will say, oh, this is not discussed in the textbooks. No theoretician has ever said that. I said, well, the theories are not some dead subject. It's a live subject. You always bring in new theory, new demonstration, new ideas. That's how the knowledge moves on. So it's very difficult. Once your mind is made, it's very difficult to change it. So this became my continuous struggle, even today. Even today, after all 30 years, you struggle against the mindset. Still, the conventional banks do the banking in a conventional way. We do our banking our way. We couldn't mix together.
You were having to change minds not only at the top level where the concept was difficult for the sort of other banking sort of financial world people, but also at the grassroots level, persuading, as you say, women to understand how it worked so they could apply it. So you were actually fighting battles right through the whole scale.
All around, because if you try to persuade woman, if she is persuaded, her husband doesn't get persuaded. Her husband thinks this is an insult to him. We are trying to deliberately insult him by giving money to his wife, because he thinks all the financial power should rest on him, not to his wife. So if the wife handles money, then his authority goes down. So he hated that whole thing. So they opposed, the man as a whole opposed us. So we were trying to explain to them, make it acceptable to them. And we were very careful, because if he dislikes it so much, still I give the money to the wife, the tension between them will be so harsh, finally probably he will throw her out. So we don't want to get involved with destroying the family relationship. So now we have to keep the family intact, at the same time acceptable to both sides. So we have to find ways how to make it acceptable to the husband and still do one. And then another problem began. The religious people looked at it as a kind of, again, a very destructive way of dealing with the religion, because they thought by giving money to a woman, we are destroying the religion, because women now will be in control of the money. They will disobey their husbands and they will come out of the house. They are supposed to stay in the home. Rather than go out in the market. Now with money they will come into the market and be with the men. And they don't like to see them at the men.
And it was the religious conservatives who actually did sort of boycott or try to get people to boycott the bank.
Very much. There's a tremendous pressure on the women to stop taking money from Grameen Bank. They will make religious pronouncement that if you do it, you are excluded from our religion.
How effective was that?
Well, it was tough on people, particularly women, who, when she comes around with a lot of courage, finally decided she will take a loan from Grameen Bank. Here comes the religious people. If you touch Grameen Bank's money, you'll be thrown out of the religion. You can't do that. So she's shaken all over again. So she said, oh my God, I'm not going to do that anymore. So people get scared. And some women who were stubborn still took the money. They were literally thrown out of the village. So it became an emotional issue with many, many villages. When we were stopped in one village that you cannot come and give money to our women, we said, okay, this is your village. You do whatever you want. We are moving into the second village, next village. We go to the next village. Next village, the opposition is not as strong in this village. So we start doing that. And tremendous pressure builds up within the first village on the mullahs.
When they see what's happening.
When they say, see what is happening to the next village. You see, if it's good for them, why is it bad for us? So finally that pressure lifts the ban that they impose on us, and they invite us to come back to the first village, and we started doing it. So that became one big struggle. Another one is a political opposition. Our politics, like in many other countries, is the extreme left to the extreme right. Extreme left, the radical left thought this is a capitalist conspiracy. He has been sent by the USA. Americans sent him as their agent to implant capitalism so that there is no social revolution in this country. And they hated me for that. I said, look, I'm trained to teach economics. That's what my job is. This I'm doing on my own. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it. But I think instead of taking money from the money lenders, this will be much better to do that. You think about it, or you do it yourself. I don't have to do it. If you think that this is a bad thing, you find out and tell your people. So that's another struggle. The leftist looking at me as a kind of a conspirator coming to the country to destroy their political movement.
Listening to all these challenges, you obviously stuck through the thick and the thin. Is it because, in your own words, you're a stubborn man?
Yes, I always believed what I was doing was right, and I never faltered on that one because I saw the result in people. It's not reading some theory or making up a structure in abstraction. It's a real people, real situation, and I see how it touches people's life. And I'm on a very, very solid ground. And they come around sooner or later.
Why didn't you get into politics? Why have you avoided it?
Well, this is two different worlds. I cannot run Grameen Bank and be in politics. And I see in Grameen Bank, I can touch people's life, I can help people to do things. And also in the policy level, it makes impact both in Bangladesh and outside. If I go into politics, in Bangladeshi politics particularly, politics is a very chaotic area. And you accuse each other, you attack in a verbal way each other, and you don't know what you are, and all kinds of accusations, all kinds of false allegations keeps coming, and it's not a decent thing, at least not the way we run our politics. So I thought I would rather be doing something which I see I can create results and it gets done. So I avoided politics all along and was concentrated on the work that I do. So I'm concentrating on the second generation, building up the second generation so that they can build their politics and dream up their life, how they want to build their life together.
Is there anything that you want to achieve personally that you haven't had a chance to do yet? What's left out there for you to do?
Well, there are a lot of things left out to do. For example, I would like to see the whole of Bangladesh get out of poverty totally. This is I firmly believe can be done, and you can almost put a date and make it happen. So I'm seeing whether I can help Bangladesh to come to that level, zero poverty in Bangladesh.
Very ambitious, of course, very ambitious target, noble but ambitious target. Will it ever give you a chance to relax and switch off?
Yes, if we come to that level, we celebrate, we'll switch off.
So you don't relax until that happens?
Yes, I will not, yeah.
How important is it for you to receive recognition for the work you do, to get awards, to have... Do the awards help to facilitate the work further?
The awards are very important because still people are not clear in Bangladesh and many other places whether this is a genuine thing that's going on or is it some crazy guy doing some crazy thing in Bangladesh. If you get some international recognition, this is very important. Recognition by the Nobel Prize would definitely change that attitude completely, that yes, it is something very permanent, very crucial to the banking system. Banking was always looked at as a kind of a lubricant of the business and trade and so on. I'm saying it's very important in social dimension. You create wealth out of nothing. You didn't have anything, you got a loan, suddenly you have something that you built yourself. You own some assets because of that. You become rich because of that.
In the years to come, what do you want people to be saying about Mohammed Yunus? How do you want to be remembered?
Well, I would say that I firmly believe that we can create a poverty-free world, and someday it will happen. I always felt bad that the world kind of accepted that poverty will remain with us. As long as human beings will remain on this planet, there will be poor people on this planet. I strongly resent that thing. I said human being is not created to remain poor. So that being who is packed with such a power and energy and the creativity, to see that human being is languishing in poverty is insult to the entire mankind that you are letting it happen. It's no fault of the person. It's fault of the way we created the system. So I would say that if we can believe that we can create a poverty-free world, all human beings can stay out of poverty and move on to achieve the missions of life, their individual life, that would be the ultimate goal of human beings on this planet. So if people believe that, and if I have contributed in some way in making that belief happen, and I'll be the happiest man that I could play that role.
Dr. Mohammed Yunus, we wish you luck in that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.